Okay, let's be real. We are practically swimming in AI-generated stuff right now. Images, videos, even voices. It's getting so hard to tell what's real and what's not. So how in the world do we fight back when we're up against the perfect lie? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dive into. All right, I'm going to put you on the spot right away. Take a look at these two images. One of them is a total AI fake. So, which one is it? Is it image A, the moody-looking alleyway? Or image B, this street scene with those kind of weird road markings? So if you guessed the one on the right, you're right. Those distorted cars, the text that makes no sense, those are classic, kind of sloppy AI mistakes. But here's the twist, and this is the part that should really get you thinking. That image on the left, the one that looks completely, perfectly real, yeah, that's fake too. And that is the core of the problem. We're not just dealing with the obvious fakes anymore. We're up against fakes that are absolutely flawless. So how did we even get here? How did we get to a point where a machine can create something that completely fools our own eyes? Well, it all boils down to one thing: the incredible, explosive growth of generative AI. You know, the magic behind all this stuff often comes from models called generative adversarial networks, or GANs for short. The easiest way to think about it is like a high-stakes art competition between two AIs. You've got one AI, the generator, who's trying to paint a forgery. And you've got another AI, the discriminator, who's the expert trying to spot the fake. They go back and forth millions of times until the forger gets so good that the expert can't tell the difference anymore. That process, plus newer methods like diffusion models, is how we get, well, everything from these crazy realistic photos to voices that are cloned perfectly. Okay, so our eyes can be fooled, but surely our fancy digital forensic tools can spot the fakes, right? I mean, that's what they're for. Well, not so much anymore. The classic tricks and tools that experts have relied on for years, they're starting to break. And this really gets to the heart of the issue. See, classic forensics worked because digital artifacts were predictable. You could trace the unique fingerprint left by a specific camera sensor, or you could spot the telltale signs of a bad Photoshop job. But generative AI, it's like a tornado. It's completely unpredictable, it doesn't follow any of the old rules, and every single new AI model that comes out changes the game. The goalposts haven't just moved, they're in a completely different stadium now. So, of course, a whole bunch of AI detection tools have popped up to try and solve this. But they have a huge, fatal flaw. They're what you'd call brittle. Basically, they're trained to spot fakes from one specific AI model. The second a brand new, better AI image generator hits the scene, that detector is pretty much useless. And what's worse, most of them are total black boxes. They just give you an answer, real or fake, with absolutely no explanation of how they decided. That's not very helpful, is it? This whole cat and mouse game just proves that we need a completely different, way smarter approach. And that's what researchers are working on. They're building a brand new kind of digital detective, something called an AI forensic agent. And this right here shows you the massive leap we're talking about. On the left, that's the old way. One single, lonely black box tool that just spits out a yes or no. The future, what you see on the right, is this intelligent agent. Think of it like a lead investigator who coordinates a whole team of specialists to actually build a case. Let me put it this way. Instead of having just one detective trying to solve a super complex case all alone, imagine you have a lead investigator, an orchestrator, who knows exactly which specialists to call in. They can bring in the metadata expert, the signal analyst, the person who knows all about face swaps, and then they take all those different findings and pull them together into one single coherent conclusion. Okay, so how does this AI detective actually work? What does it do? Well, it's all about combining lots of different kinds of evidence. It's not looking for one single smoking gun. It's building a complete, robust case from the ground up. So this agent, it sits right in the middle of everything. When you give it a photo or a video, it doesn't just run one simple test. No, it strategically picks and chooses from a whole arsenal of tools. It can use old-school forensic methods, it can scour the web to see where the image came from, it can dig into the metadata, look for signs of tampering, it can even run a bunch of those older AI detectors all at the same time. When you put the old way next to this new vision, the difference is just night and day. We're going from fragile, brittle tools to a system that can actually adapt. We're moving from these mysterious scores to a system that has the wisdom to say, you know what, I'm not sure. And maybe most importantly, we're shifting from a generic, one-size-fits-all answer to a detailed explanation that's actually tailored for whoever's asking, whether that's a journalist, a lawyer, or just you and me. And that idea, the one about being able to say, I don't know, that's called principled abstention. And it's a total game changer. Seriously, think about an expert witness in a courtroom. If they're not 100% sure about something, they don't just guess, right? They say, I can't be certain. This agent is designed to do the exact same thing. If the evidence is just too weak, it will refuse to make a call. And that's huge because it prevents a potentially disastrous wrong answer. You know, when you boil it all down, this whole thing comes down to one single crucial word: trust. A verdict is totally useless if we have no idea how the system got there. And that's why the final and maybe most important piece of this puzzle is explainability. We've really seen an evolution here. I mean, just a little while ago, all we had were those pure black boxes. They'd give you an answer, but zero reasoning. Now we're in a stage where large models can try to give you a text explanation, but honestly, they can sometimes hallucinate, just make stuff up, or miss the really subtle, low-level clues. The vision we're aiming for with these forensic agents is to get to a point where the reports are based on cold, hard evidence, where you can check the work and where a normal person can actually understand them. So this whole journey is about one thing: moving away from these mysterious black boxes and towards something that's transparent and centered on actual evidence. We're evolving from a simple, unexplainable score to an intelligent forensic agent, one whose reasoning we can actually look at, question, and in the end, hopefully trust. Because let's face it, at the end of the day, the stakes here are incredibly high. This isn't just a game. We need tools that do more than just give us simple thumbs up or thumbs down. We need tools that can produce transparent, detailed reports that can actually hold up under the intense scrutiny of a newsroom, a police investigation, or even a court of law. If there's one single principle that sums up this entire new philosophy, it is this: don't guess, escalate. It's so simple, but so powerful. When the evidence isn't clear, the responsible thing to do isn't to take a wild guess. It's to escalate the problem to a human expert, but not empty-handed. You give them a full report of everything the AI could and could not figure out. That's how you build a system you can actually rely on. So here's the final kind of ironic thought. The very same technology that's creating this massive crisis of trust, it might just be our best hope for solving it. By turning AI into a smarter, more transparent kind of detective, we might actually have a fighting chance to find the truth, even when we're living in a world that's flooded with perfect fakes.